Welcome to Waiting on the Trade, a comics book club for people who can't keep up with monthly comics. I'm Matt Ledger.
I'm Patrick Fitzgerald Fleck.
And I'm Simon Payne.
This month, we're talking about the first volume of East of West, a story of an alternate history America headed toward the apocalypse, from writer Jonathan Hickman, artist Nick Dragata, colorist Frank Martin, and letterer Russ Wooten. In case you need a refresher, East of West imagines a differently divided America in which 7 nation-states have staked their claim. For decades, key members of those nation-states have been pushing the world toward the apocalypse, helped along by the Four Horsemen. Seth, however, is no longer interested in the end times, as he's found something else to live for. Hey Simon, welcome back to the podcast. Thanks for letting us bully you into this. I appreciate it.
Read a cool comic and hang out with my friends. Oh no, twist my arm. Thanks for having me.
I, for various reasons, have been unsuccessful in scheduling the podcast. Well, for the last month, 2 months, somewhere in there. This one kind of snuck up on me, so I'm glad you could find the time to jump in with us and talk about what I think is a very good comic. West. We read Volume 1, first 5 issues of what is a 45-issue, 10-volume run. I did tell Pat while we were talking about it, we could technically have read the entire series for the podcast because there is a End Times compendium that just came out recently, and it's the whole book in one book. Image is doing this with a lot of these 10s-ish series where they're just here's a paperweight. It's the whole series. You can have it. I looked on Amazon, which don't buy it from Amazon. Buy it from your local bookstore or bookshop.org. But I looked on Amazon and was like, it's $45. It's like $1 a comic. You should buy it.
That's not bad. For physical media.
For the end of this discussion, go read it. Please read it, guys. But Pat, this was a you pick. You had tossed a couple suggestions around, and given the deadline and kind of who I figured we could pull in on quick notice, this was the one that I picked from your shortlist. But why was it on your shortlist in the first place?
I've always had my eye on this series, and I think I was hearing the buzz when it first came out, but I was in the saga hole at the time, so I had no time for other Image comics.
A series that has not finished, as we will likely talk about when we talk about the State of 2010's Image series. Anyways, continue.
I dip back into that series every 3 years, and I'm like, this is still going on? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Again, we were talking off mic, and I don't envy anyone taking their time doing the thing, especially if they're successful. They could take the time, but I don't think a single issue of Saga came out in 2025. I'm pretty sure that's right. Maybe I'll look it up for the show notes, but I might not because I don't really feel like putting them on blast like that either. Again, take your time, do your thing.
So I've always been intrigued by this. For the longest time, I didn't realize that it was a science fiction story. Always assumed it was just a Western.
Yeah, which I did not get into the summary description, and I tried a few different ways to do it smoothly, and it just didn't work. So I'm glad we're kind of calling that out relatively quickly. It is it's a sci-fi Western, right?
I do want to discuss the complexities of this world building that they're trying to do in 5 issues.
There's 40 more issues, Pat. There's time. Don't worry.
No, I got it.
One of these every other month because Matt can't pull it together. And
I think honestly, we should pick a series sometime and just do a full review.
It's got me. I would keep going. I want to see what else they have to do.
I really thought about doing a reread blog post series on this series last year, and I ended up not doing that because I was like, I don't know if we have the time on top of other stuff. And then I was thinking about it this year. Anyways, all of which is to say, the door is open for us to come back and talk about this one because I like this one a lot. But again, digression. Continue, Pat.
My God. Listeners, it's so hard to get a word in this podcast.
Okay, Pat, I'm going to interrupt you real quick.
Yeah.
I'll let you finish.
They had one of the best.
I had coffee before the podcast because I was flagging pretty hard around 6:30, and I think it's kicking in. So
you're bumping around. I forgot the original question. Could one of you refresh me?
What is
why
Saga
this?
Hole?
Why this Saga Hole? Yes. I've always had an interest in pursuing this series, and as you guys know, I am a connoisseur of the humble bundles. And just recently, and I say recently, like maybe last month, I don't know, time has no meaning anymore. There was a 2010s Image Comics bundle that had, I want to say like a dozen or more like really good comic
It was
series.
a lot
and
of good shit.
yeah. A lot of the ones that are like, I really want to get, like they have Descender, which we talked about, I don't know, 4 episodes ago.
Yeah, a while ago.
And it's like cheaper than what I got that one volume of Descender. So it's like, wow, okay, well, I'll get all of that plus, yeah, like I say, like 10 or so other series that I'd also like to read.
I'm looking at it
So,
now.
yeah.
I got it in December. It has Sea of Stars, Farmhand, Middle West, Coyotes, I Hate Fairyland, Rumble, Curse Words, Strange Talent of Luther Strode, Sex, Hack and Slash, Paper Girls, Bitch Planet. Like, it just keeps going. And there's like multiple volumes of each of these.
Yeah, it's like most, if not all of those. So,
Kill
Yeah,
6
so-
billion demons.
hell yeah. And that's only 3 volumes of that, but still, yeah. Lots of saga.
Saga, Deadly
Sex Criminals is in
Class,
there.
Black Science,
Yeah.
Oh, Ice
Philadelphia.
Cream Man, which I want to actually check out at some point. So
That was also one I was looking at too. Yep. So I'm set. So we're
Yeah, you got
readers
enough time
buckle
to
up
read
for
for a
Image
while.
Comics. Yeah. But yeah, that's
Deal
really
with it.
what pushed East of West over the edge for me is I had readily accessible PDFs. So that is why we were reading it for this episode.
You're a Hickman enjoyer, right? Like you're a person.
I've
who
been known to
likes
dabble.
Hickman comics. Yes? Question
Mhm.
mark? I don't know, because like I know.
I'm still struggling my way through all the X-Men.
I was gonna
But
say, I
yeah.
think I've read some Hickman X-Men at some point.
And Manhattan Projects did or did not finish. You might actually know better than I do, Pat,
I-
because I did not really read.
I've
that
only got
one.
the first 3 trades of that, so I'm not sure. I've enjoyed what I've read, but yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Like so, we talked about this a little bit off mic, and we hinted at it earlier too. But like, looking at that Image Comics bundle list here, because I've got it up on the other screen. Like,
Mhm.
there's a lot of series that came out in that period that are really good, and then just kind of for one reason or another, just like never really finished. Like they just kind of disappeared. And again, like good reasons, I'm sure. Like no problem there. But like part of the thing I like about East of West, and I think it was already getting close to wrapping up when I was starting to pick up the volumes from comic conventions, is like it's finished. Like it's 45 issues. It's got that solid like Vertigo long run stretch to it of like I think it's in my mind it's like once you're past 20 issues and like into the 30s and 40s, like then you've really gotten the amount of space to play in whatever world you're creating or story you're telling, like in a way that some of the best creator owned series get to. So yeah, there's a lot here, and I was kind of interested specifically from your perspective, Pat, because like you were talking about, it's an alternate history, there's world building, it's sci-fi, it's western. Like, how did all that stuff play for you so far in the first 5 issues?
I'm intrigued for sure. I think I'm fickle. You know, you can't be so sure with me. I like the world building. I'm not attached to the characters as of yet. I would hope that through the next 40 odd issues that will be solved. I just there's a lot of world building in this.
There's a lot
It's set up
going on immediately. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just going to run through it real quick. It starts with the rebirth of 3 of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse popping out of the ground as kids. Death's not with them. Jump to the setting of alternate history. The Civil War didn't end the way it ends for us. It ends with the Union and the Confederacy like signing a peace treaty with Native American like alliance. And then there's also New Shanghai. So the Chinese have taken over, I assume, the West Coast.
Yeah, because Mao, being exiled from China, comes over and just like makes his nation over.
Yeah, there's the Golden Gate Bridge that
California,
looks
roughly,
Golden
very.
Gate Bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a kingdom of Louisiana or something like that, right?
Yeah, the crown prince is at the meeting.
And then there's 2 more because you said
Val
7.
Solomon is the
Texas.
governor
Texas,
of the
baby.
Republic of Texas.
Oh, that's right. Texas, of course, is its
And
own
then
thing.
The Black Towers, is that like New Englandy?
Oh, that's
or
the
is-
South.
That's the
Oh, okay.
Confederacy.
Yeah.
Oh
I don't-
yeah, okay.
Let me flip over
And the
open to
Union.
the page where all the chosen introduce themselves, and I can sort it out fairly quickly, hopefully.
Armistice, premiere of Armistice.
Armistice is where the like pillar thing in the desert is.
Yeah,
Is that its own nation then? Technically, there's like a dude from Armistice, but
I think so because he's
Yeah,
one
I
of the
think it is
7 at.
technically its own territory. It's the District of Columbia of this America.
It's where
No
the
voting rights.
asteroid hit, right?
Yeah, yeah, and they like created a tower there, and that's where the chosen meet.
Yeah. So we've got Horsemen of the Apocalypse, alternate history, and then it takes all of that and shoves it into the future as well. So not only is it an alternate, it's like way in the future now. It's just a lot. There's 7 different. It's a lot.
Yeah, you
Have
like
you-
a lot,
we got-
though. You're a guy who likes a lot.
I do. Matt, I have no idea how much I wanted a splash screen that had all of this in a nice diagram with some nice icons for each of the city
there's
state.
no such thing.
I want it. I want it so badly.
We're what? Oh gosh, what year would this have been? I'm trying to figure out how many years too early we are for data pages at this point from Krakoa. But we're at about of years too early for actual data pages. Although you do still have the nice like Jonathan Hickman design of the white splash or like the all white chapter breaks with the pieces of dialogue. Like
oh yeah, that
pithy
is really
phrase,
House of X,
sayings.
isn't it?
Yeah. Like it's very like he has a design, especially on his creator-owned stuff, where like I think Manhattan Projects is the same way too, Pat, right? Where it's like block of color on the cover on the top, and then block of white on the bottom, and then it's got that like stripy like
Yeah.
interior interstitial pages. Like it kind of all has its own sort of like it's a Hickman book design, at least from this era especially. So, which I personally like. I think it's really cool to kind of have that sort of uniform branding on your creator-owned stuff like that.
Yeah, no, stylistically, like I said, I'm enjoying the world building. It's just a lot.
Yeah.
Also, we pointed out the Horsemen, they're reborn as children, but then during this story we see flashbacks where they are adult versions of themselves. So, and we have not seen why or how the adult versions of the Horsemen have now regressed to children, but that has obviously happened at some point.
hmm Or why death didn't come with them.
Well, we were told, yeah, right? Like they
They said that he says that he didn't die, but it was something worse.
Yeah, I was trying to decide whether like how much of this is spoilers or not, but like I don't think it is because I think you can infer it from what's in this book. Like the other 3 horsemen died. Like I think they died in the battle with. Oh, I guess it wouldn't have been with death though because they come for. Shoot, it's such a good
What's her name?
podcaster. Remembering people's names
Yeah.
is really good.
that's
but his-
baby mama.
yeah, which is not what I was gonna refer
Xiao,
to.
Xiao Lian.
Yeah, I guess
Xiaolian,
they're all
yeah.
still alive for that one. So actually, I have to think about it now. I guess
that
if
was-
we keep
Yeah.
reading, yeah,
This is my point.
Well,
should
yeah.
be after, I would think.
I mean, the baby
unless-
was born 10 years ago, right? So
It could actually be that order of like they go to her first and then fight him and then die, and he does
Yeah.
not die. Which I'm gonna say it's that order because that's what makes sense to me. Anyways, they
Okay.
die. He doesn't die. That's why they're children and he's not.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's like a gap because she's been in prison for 10 years and he died a decade ago. So it's like, was there no horseman for 10 years? Or what? Why was there a gap when they got respawned? I don't
I
know.
assume it'll be explored.
Yeah, I
But
don't
as-
remember exactly why he would have been off the board for that long, honestly.
Yeah. I think it's the dangers of choosing the first volume of I don't know if we even said it. There's 10 volumes of this. So
Yeah. And again, it goes deep.
Mm.
And it I think does a really nice Hickman thing too of like showing you something and then coming back later and recontextualizing it completely and being like, "Oh no, actually there's like two layers underneath this scene that like this
Yeah.
place you were just in or like this scene we just did." Like especially the one that comes to mind is the initial bar setting, right? Where even in that first scene there, Crow is like, "Something's hidden here," and Death is like, "I don't
Yeah.
care." And then they come back and it's actually like kind of
Oh,
important.
surprise. Super map.
That's super yeah, like that's a super Hickman move of like layering things within things within things to like recontextualize stuff that's kind of been there all along, but you just didn't look at it the right way because you didn't know to. So I enjoy that throughout the series.
Did we find out what the fuck that eyeball thing is, Matt?
Yeah, you do actually. I was actually because I read the first one a couple times in preparation for the discussion, and I was like, I'm gonna reread the ending very quickly also. So like I skimmed slash breezed because I didn't want to get too deep into it, but like the eyeball features in that one, I believe actually. So
We makes till the end, thank goodness.
yeah, you if you are a fan of the eyeball in this one, let me tell you, you got good stuff. It's fine.
Yeah. Speaking of the eyeball, it's like so they've got this retrofuturism thing of like alternate history of what could have happened to the US after, and then like you said, it's set in the future, so there's like a cyberpunk element of it where like body mutation or body augmentation is a thing. So not only does he have like an apparatus thing on his one eye, he has a living eyeball creature in his other eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that's technology or magic or like a demon or like an alien. I don't know what the
No
eyeball
spoilers
is.
here. I don't think it's an alien though. I don't think aliens are gonna happen.
Then what the fuck?
What something came from outer space and crashed into the ground?
That's true. That's true. I mean, again, it's been a while since I read it, so maybe there's an alien in there, guys. I don't know. Just keep reading to find out.
My God.
Yeah, I don't know.
I-
I really like the sci-fi western elements of it, and I think Bergoda does a good job of playing with that in like a way. Like there are versions of sci-fi western that are more like Firefly version, I guess, where it's like you're
Mhm.
emphasizing more of the Western than the sci-fi, and I think this is more of the sci-fi than the Western, in my opinion. And I kind of enjoy that take on it. Like, I love Death's horse, like his like
This laser powered
his
horse.
laser head horse that kind of like looks like it's bleeding out of its head for a second, but actually I think it's just repairing itself and charging its laser head so it can shoot again. I love Death's horse so much. I think there's so many good designs throughout this series, and that is one of them.
It's such a like comic sci-fi thing too. Just be like, yeah, it's probably in real life easier and cheaper to like come up with some kind of um, you know, floating vehicle or like wheeled vehicle for this Western world.
But
But
he's
like let's
Death. He's got to have a horse.
let's recreate a real horse with a mechanical thing and try to figure out how that would move.
Yeah.
It's badass, especially near the end with the big fight scene. So, like you said,
Yeah, so Simon, I haven't asked you yet. Like, what were your general thoughts and feelings reading through the first volume?
it was good. I was with Pat where I thought it was going to be more of a straight Western thing, but as soon as um, it went into the so it's like the cold open, there's the alternate history, and then yeah, the bar right away. So then it started to do more of the techno stuff, and I was like, okay, this is what we're in for. But yeah, I love a Western. I love a badass revenge story kind of thing. There's definitely moments where you can see like little homages to stuff where like some of the technology in the towers are very Blade Runner-esque, like especially his scene with is it Chamberlain in the office and stuff. And yeah, I was on board pretty early just to have
Nice.
a Clint Eastwood-esque, you know, McCree from Overwatch guy just going through infinite ammo 6-shooter seems like a very like fantasy sci-fi thing. So
Yeah. Yeah, if you are here for death shooting at people, you're gonna have a good time with the first volume for sure. I was thinking about power fantasy at this point because we're talking about it on the blog like every month. Like I was thinking about the parallels between kind of setup here where it's another alternate history sort of deal. And then also the first issue ends with the main character killing the president. Like
President.
it's
Yeah.
the exact same end. I was like, wow, this is like such a very similar setup that goes in like such a different direction. And I think part of that is like different comics markets. Like the Power Fantasy is gonna get 16 issues, and then who knows if it's gonna get more or not. We'll know literally 2 days from now as we're recording this. Um, Whereas this was kind of published in that era where you could know that if you were successful, you could run for a good dang long time. And so, like, you can take more time setting up this sprawling, like, 7 nation states civil war didn't go quite the way it was supposed to. And then all this layered apocalyptic mythology underneath that, too. Whereas the Power Fantasy is just, like, very tight. This is very sprawling and layered, and you can feel it just like kind of taking like it's gonna take its time in the way that you
Mhm.
may or may not appreciate right this second, Pat. But
Right.
uh,
They do stuff with the message, with like hinting at prophecy and having these cryptic things that you have to piece together and figure out what could be possible. All this like kind of heady storytelling stuff, and then you get lines like, "If you find hell lonely, wait, company is coming soon," and then headshots. like it,
oh,
it it
a good
splits that difference of like gore and over the top exploitation kind of stuff, and the like, yeah, we can weave an actual like interesting narrative through this.
a good Hickman one-liner is so good. There's like almost nothing better in comics dialogue wise. I'm looking for it's on one of the interstitial pages, and it's Mao. When I was a child, you taught me regret was for the weak. How can you expect me to feel such a thing now? It's just like, damn, all right,
Yeah.
let's go. Yeah, love a Hickman one-liner. How did you guys feel about, we talked about it a little bit, just wanted to highlight it though, because I personally enjoy it a lot. Like, how did you guys feel about the art and particularly like the style and the pacing?
Yeah, I think it's great. Like it does a really good job of conveying like action and stuff. It flows really well, even in the big busy battles that we get towards the end of it.
If this Nick Dragata did the lines, is that right?
Yeah.
If I've read anything else by them, because it looks familiar, but I couldn't tell you like
I know
what of
you've
their,
been
or what it
poking
reminds
around
me
at those
of.
Absolute Batman memes, so that might be who you're
That's
thinking
true.
about because he's Absolute Batman artist. So
Okay, we talked about him at the end of, was that Dandadan? Or was that
yeah,
a different one? Okay.
yeah, it was Dan to Dan because I did the Absolute Batman rec from Dan to Dan, which I stand by.
Yeah, and I love the color. I think the color is great, especially with the witches from the Native American tribes. Like to have that stark black and white contrast, or the crow's body looks, the same color as like the background of some of the shots.
I mean, it's very manga in a way that I think is I don't know that I think both of you guys would probably appreciate. Like, it definitely has that influence, and I think that helps with the pacing a lot too. Like, I feel like Dragata, especially now, like I'm thinking about Absolute Batman pages now, but like I think his ability to just like pace a page and then a set of pages and then an issue, like all of those subsections of a whole, really good. Like he does it really well, like from the micro to the macro, and I think that makes reading his like that and the like fluid style makes reading his stuff so easy in a way that Pat suggested this as one of his short suggestions, and I was like, I'll go downstairs and look at it. And then I read it that night. I was done reading it later that evening. It's like, oh, I should probably read it again and pay more attention. um, but yeah, like I was looking at it's a page in the battle in the People's Republic of New Shanghai, where I believe it's called. And it's a page pretty near the end. And if you paneled it out with like all of the individual panels that would be on the page, there's a couple blocks that are conjoined. It's a 24 panel page. If you actually broke it all the way out, it's actually like a 20, probably a 19 panel page if I'm guessing here. And it's so good. It does such a good of conveying the action and like the freneticism of the battle and like how much stuff is going on, and then also like letting you break away from that for a minute. And the larger panels are just like Mao and the two sisters talking.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um,
Okay.
and it's so good. And he's really like developed on that style since then. Like Absolute Batman's got like 32 panel pages. It's absolutely nuts. But at the same time, every single chapter, I don't know if you guys noticed this, ends with a single splash cliffhanger page, like every single time. So yeah, just being able to like go that deep into like a 24 roughly panel page and then know to like pull it back out at the end. And I know like Hickman's probably trolling some of that, but I think Dragotta has like such a good command of pacing and paneling that it just makes the thing really exciting and like easy to read.
Yeah. Like the insane fight with the crow, and then like the wolf surrounded, they're like, uh-oh, and then like he does the Ben Kenobi thing, turns into a robe, and then the next panel is him, a
Just like
bazillion wolves
4 wolves
attacking
or whatever,
people.
yeah. Yeah, there's that
Like,
same
oh
stretch in
god.
there where Crow is like backflipping but also turning into crows at the same time. Like there's an amount of a comic just being fucking rad that will give you some percentage points when you're reading it. And Dragata certainly delivers that with Martin and Wooten also obviously assisting.
Yeah, and just some like the quote unquote camera work of it too. Like you can see some of the influences from stuff. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but the Union soldiers in the bar in that first scene look like they're from, was it 2000 AD, like the Judge Dredd comic almost. And
Yeah.
then like the flashback to who the Chosen were and how Death got captured. The perspective of having them like up in the ship, or like on their way down from a ship, and then the camera being below up and intimidating, and then the next shot is between War's legs, and like the good and the bad and the ugly kind of gunfight scenario, and
Yeah.
the,
Yeah, it's
the
just like
gag reveal of panning out from interrogating the Wayfarer. It's I can't remember his name, but the eyeball guy in the bar, and there's just a soldier like jammed into
in the ceiling. Yeah,
hanging
God, I love
down.
that set of panels, and Crow just hangs on for that extra beat. Yeah, the pacing's so good. Like again, the quote unquote cinematography, like just expertly controlled. Right before that, I wanted to talk about these two because I always love them. Is the page where Death is at the bar drinking and talking to the tracker slash bartender guy. And the only thing we actually see of Crow and Wolf doing that fight is like the sound effects have like overwhelmed backgrounds to like take it up entirely. And so like that's the fight as we see it. I really love that effect. I think that's a great page. So did you guys in the chapters we got here end up with a favorite character or characters? Because I know I did on the first read, and I still do now. Like I have a clear favorite, so I'm curious if you guys have any clear favorites.
I like the art design of Famine a lot. I just like that like
That
zombie
Yeah.
bone. Yeah. I did, like I said, I like the witches, and I think Death is just still my favorite character. I know he's the main character, and he's like the easy one you're supposed to follow and want to like, but
That's fine, Simon. He's cool. We'll
he's
allow it.
pretty awesome.
I like what Chamberlain is throwing down.
Yeah,
A
you
Southern
do.
gentleman, a piece of shit, but he knows he's a piece of shit and he's reveling in it.
Yes, I love it. I'm also a Chamberlain supporter. Um, for that same reason of you're just like hoping he continues to get away with it, but also just like waiting for him to not get away with it at the same time.
Yeah.
You're just like rooting for him, but also just like waiting for that inevitable hopeful failure to come and get him. how long can he tiptoe on this line where he's
Mouthing off to everyone.
yeah,
Yeah.
just like leading death by the nose, like pulling the wool over the other three horsemen's eyes, like talking to Bella, and Bella's like, "Hey, we should not do this," and he's like, "Nah, we'll see. I don't know. You do you though." Probably gonna betray. Spoilers for Volume 2, which I reread a little bit of today. It happens pretty fast.
Crazy. Man of his word, that Chamberlain.
Well, and the whole thing of like his thing on cowardice is like and bravery. It's like you're an idiot if, or you're a coward if you like betray somebody right away under duress, and then you're like an idiot if you're too brave to like not do that. And then he comes around to a third thing where he's like a cowardly betray, but he thinks he's smarter or doesn't, he's like above it at that point, above bravery. And it's you always have to give deference to the bad guy that is like good enough to know he's a bad guy.
Yeah,
So,
it's
so
very
many
much
of
the
the bad
same
guys are
feeling
like,
as
I'm
like,
righteous, and he's just like, yeah, man, whatever. Can I live a
no,
little longer? I'll do what I can to
it's like,
make
no,
this
I'm
not
shitty,
go
but I
away.
enjoy being shitty, so it's fine. Yeah. Yeah, I was also a person who liked Littlefinger in Game of Thrones, I guess, so maybe that says something about me.
Sure.
I
That
don't
is a very,
know.
yeah.
You gotta tip your hat to like the clever bad guy. Like,
Yeah. I mean, it's mostly just like you just want to see how long they can keep getting away with it, right? I mean, that's part of it, at least for me. So, yeah, definitely. And that mustache, like, and you can't beat it. So,
You know he has a southern drawl and everything, so it's always
oh yeah,
great.
yeah,
Colonel
yeah,
Sanders ass motherfucker.
yeah. Death manages to not kill a lot of people on this. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, does also manage to kill a lot of people.
Hmm.
The old version of War has like a Carmen Sandiego thing going on. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, the previous gender swapped version of
Yeah.
Yeah, I like how
yeah.
they were whining about how they're a little boy now. I used to be a woman.
With
Used
Lady
lady
to be a
parts.
gorgeous woman.
So this is something I actually wanted to make sure we touched on because I feel like Hickman specifically doesn't get enough credit for it. Like this book's funny. Like it's mostly a dry humor, I feel like, but like it's funny. And like I think there's a lot of people who write off Hickman stuff as like unemotional, like it's very clockwork, like plot reveals, etc., etc. But like, there's definitely emotion in this book. I mean, you can see it in the way that Death is on his like the whole thing is Death's like trip for revenge and or to save his wife and son. So like emotion, obviously, right? But the book's funny. Like I was thinking about what you guys made me think about was the page where the three horsemen are like on the pile of corpses. Again, dark, dry humor, I guess. The pile of corpses, and they're like, tell this guy who's like dying, like, tell us a joke. And he's like, a joke? And they're like, okay, we'll remind him what jokes are. Knock,
We
knock,
gotta
who's
remind
there?
him.
It's the four
Uh,
horsemen of the apocalypse. Yeah. And he's like, but there's three of you, which is a joke. Like, it's really funny, actually. And then they kill him. It's like, yeah,
he
that's
hits
sort
a
of
he
like dark.
hits a nerve.
Yeah, but like that sort of dark, dry humor, I feel like plays throughout the thing, right? Like that same beat you were talking about, Simon, where there's like that guy who's like in the ceiling in that initial bar fight scene. Like there's just stuff like that throughout where I think if you have the right sense of humor, I find it very funny. And I think it's something that is underrated in Hickman's work is that like there's humor there if you have the right sense of humor, which I feel like I do. I don't know if you guys found that throughout this too, where there were bits that you found funny. I think Chamberlain also has some of those.
Yeah, like the premier sends out the herald to Death to like parlay for peace. It's like, and the crow's like, yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. Like, he gives this whole speech and is like, then behold, prepare to die. like, okay, dude, like, you're one guy. We just killed one out the wall. Like,
Yeah, we're still coming for you. Yeah, I guess part of the reason that I had thought about last year doing this as a reread project and then I'm still thinking about it is like it's got the whole post-apocalyptic divided America. Like the very first sentence on the first interstitial page is like the things that divide us are greater than the things that unite us, and I was like, oh, this is a timely book. I guess.
Yeah.
Did you guys find it timely from that perspective still? Like, was there anything that you noticed while you were reading that you pulled out there, or like that felt like it hit close to home? Because I think there are parts of it that there's a Secretary of War in this. They appear before the Secretary of Defense, but we still have a Secretary of Defense in this story, so that's something. Um, I guess is that something that was on your mind at all when you read it? Because it's still on my mind in a few spots.
That line certainly hit harder than probably did when it first came out.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, like it was still, it would have been early Tea Party at that point, something like that. So just have to look down the road a little bit. The other spot that in this one, and this maybe leads into discussion of, oh no, he doesn't have a name, I don't think, in this. I guess we can call him the Great Beast for now, because I think that's the only thing he's referred to. But he gets an actual name later. Death and Mao's
Adam.
son. Yeah.
I'm just gonna guess Adam.
It's Babylon, actually.
Oh, well, that was my second guess.
Later. Just a little later in the Bible.
Yeah. But yeah, who's being like raised in captivity essentially and like fed these
propaganda or whatever it
ways
is.
of seeing the world. Yeah, we don't see it in this volume, but like literally the system he's connected up to, like that's hooked into his eyes, it like changes how he perceives the world and makes it into a more frightening place, which is a really kind of on the nose metaphor, especially these days. Yeah, we get that bit. The one that always sticks out to me is the one that's like the I'm gonna pull open the page so I don't mess it up, but the like list of the orders or like the types in order of preference.
Oh,
like that would always gets
like
me.
meritocracy, and then like freedom's like our last resort.
Yeah, because hang on, I'm just gonna read it because I feel like it's another good one. I have been taught that what mankind truly desires is conflict, then to be ruled, then opportunity, and if those fail, freedom. It's like, okay, fine.
How do you
Fine.
feel? I don't know what that means.
But wrote a poem. Come on. I mean, like, come on. Yeah, that's a thread that we don't even get. We get like what, roughly 2 to 3 pages of insight into in this, and like that's a pretty big part of the whole book. Turns out is what's happening with Babylon. So
I would imagine,
yeah. The world being on fire is exactly the kind of call to action I've been waiting years for. It breeds opportunity. It spawns mischief. I'm awakened and full of cause. There's just like engineering states in which people are afraid and against each other so that evil people can thrive.
Profit, baby. Archibald's going out there to sell some crypto in volume 2. Not really.
Yeah, and I like the fact when he's accused of going to tell the others of what who's the other bearded man he's talking to? Solomon. There we go.
Oh yeah.
It's like, oh, you're going to tell the others, aren't you? He's like, that's too middle class entertainment. I need
pedestrian, bro.
It's beneath
then just
me.
fucking tattletaling. Come on.
Again, though, it doesn't take long for him to reverse that position.
Well, and Solomon says too, like, this isn't a game. This is the world, and we broke it, and we can't put it back together. And now we got to live with that.
And that really is like 2 different philosophies just unpacked very neatly in a couple panels, right? Of like, oh, I'm here and just like I'm gonna do what's good for me, and I'm just gonna like I don't care about anyone else. I'm just dancing between the raindrops and I will profit. Versus like, oh hey, this is like a real system with real people in it that has to continue to survive, and we fucked it. That's a lot to put in 2 panels, but I think it works, and I think those 2 characters end up going down different paths as a result of those philosophies in ways that are interesting as the rest of the book plays out. But that's the kind of heady shit we're in for in one, if you stick with it.
Yeah, I'd be curious to read more, especially you're talking about characters. Somebody who I didn't get much from because they're introduced late, but I'd like to see more of is it Zhao Chow? I think the X is a CH sound in the translation, but I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, Death Paramore, and we know she's a badass from the flashbacks and from the courtyard scene, but I'd like to see learn more about her as a character in the series.
Yeah, and she remains central because again, like she's basically acting as a distraction so that Death can keep doing Death things and find their son. So she continues to be in the mix. I also enjoyed their post-battle scene where you can definitely tell that they still have a lot of affection for each other, but it's just like so messed up and twisted up at that point. Like when she says things have changed and then she's like, "You look different," and he's like, "Yeah, no shit, you look different."
Yeah,
like
it's been 10 years.
well, like also he almost died and managed to not. Like she's also like she was a prisoner for 10 years and had her hands chopped off. Like yeah, that's something to keep an eye on through the rest of the series is like what does their relationship or lack thereof look like as they navigate through this world.
Maybe you didn't recognize me because of the red arm. Red arms now.
Well, the flashback Death is black, all in black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now he's
So
all
is
white.
that just artistic, or was he literally?
I think
Did
it
he-
has something to
He's
do with
Gandalf
Gandalf
like
the
white.
White now, Pat.
Yeah,
I think it has something to do with like what Wolf and Crow. I believe it's Wolf and Crow did to make
him
it so he did
alive?
not
Save
die.
him or
Yeah.
get him back.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe there is an actual plot reason for that. I don't remember how much it does or doesn't actually get explained on the page because it's been a
Because
bit since I
Death
got that deep into it.
is black, and then Babylon as a child is the same color as what Death is now.
Yeah,
So interesting.
a lot
Yeah.
to explore.
Yeah, and I want to see more of the message. Like some of the stuff I get, I did like that she attracts Death's interest not by killing someone, but by showing mercy.
It's interesting that Death can have a child.
I mean, that's the whole book, Pat. Like,
Interesting that Death can bring about life.
Life, yeah.
That you have summed up the nut of the whole book in one.
And also, there's that weird eye thing. Those two things I feel are going to, they're going to play out.
I don't know if I just didn't catch it or if it hasn't been explained yet, but the child's a cup of a cup, a chalice of a chalice.
Yeah, I still don't get that one, honestly, Simon. I'm sure there's some sort of like metaphor that you and I are both missing.
Okay,
I don't
because like he
know.
is a cup, he is a chalice, and of a chalice, of a cup means like, one of his parents or both of his parents would have that property as well, whatever their metaphor they're trying to convey there. And I didn't catch it the 2 times I read it, so.
It's not just you. I've read this series a few times at this point, and that was the one that I just always like kind of let go. Yeah, the message is interesting. I feel like it also lets Hickman play to his strengths of doing weird layered prophecy stuff that like then you look again later and you're like, oh right.
That's what that was.
That's
Yeah,
what
I'm just
that
looking at
meant.
Babylon's umbilical cord that he's got. It's all technology compared to what the 3 of the 4 horsemen in the beginning had more flesh, actual like biological ties.
Loopiness.
Yeah, is he being made into an artificial horseman? Probably. Who's
Yeah.
to say?
How much of him is actually him in that initial splash page? I had kind of forgotten, and you see more of it later on as like what the divide is. So
Sure. Yeah, I think it is a whole lot of setting up, and it'll be interesting to see where it goes.
yeah, I guess so are you guys who already have the entire story
I was gonna
available
say,
for you to read. So it's a
do
pretty
I want to
easy one, I
click a
feel like.
button? I don't know, man. Yeah, I'll probably keep reading. In
Yeah, that
fact, I
Humble
will download
Bundle.
the next couple now, so I have no excuse.
The
Yeah.
Humble Bundle I love the convenience. It has PDF, EPUB, or CBZ formats, and I'm sure they just do it with every bundle, but this one has like a bulk download one on the webpage, and I was like, that might kill my computer.
Yeah, that's a lot of books. Again, I still have the list up here at it. Gosh, that's
I
gotta be
guess some
like
of them
at
are
least
compressed.
50 volumes of comics.
Yeah, the CBZ and the EPUBs are fairly compressed. They're like 80 to 120 megabytes, but some of the PDFs are like 250, 300, so 1.8 gigs for one of these volumes, so my 10-year-old computer might not be able to handle.
Just get it
But yeah, I'll pick and
downloading,
choose.
leave it for a
Grind.
week.
Grind through them.
Yeah.
And I also do feel like you specifically will like the new US president as she gets more scenes. I was kind of surprised you didn't actually call her out in this one, but she'll get more time.
She didn't have much. I mean, I appreciated her style. Her aesthetics were very on point.
I was gonna say, like from
A
like
deep
looks and
V.
personality, she's very much your type of character, just kind of that like
An
stately,
older
like
woman in power?
that stately don't fuck
in.
with me kind of woman. Yeah.
She reminded me visually, the like shaman storyteller lady in Fern Gully that like teaches the fairy girl the story of the smoke monster.
Oh, sure.
Just like older lady, hair back, robes, like I don't know. Obviously different personalities, and that fairy's good and she's evil, but
She's a politician, Simon. Come on.
it's expected of them. That whole scene was funny too, because they're just like, "Hey, you want to join this cult?" And they're like, "No, it's wrong." And then it's just like a montage of all the other people they go through in the line of succession to get a new president.
I'll do it. I'll do whatever you want. No, he doesn't believe enough.
No, I
Dead.
don't
Yeah, that's the
believe.
one that's the best. Yeah, kind of wild that the Secretary of War couldn't even get it done.
Well, I was kind of surprised because they're like, we're looking for a true believer, but it's like, how widely known is them that they could just find a politician that knows about it, you know? I thought it was supposed to be kind of a secret-y thing.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah, I'm not actually sure about that particular point either. I feel like I don't think it's secret knowledge, but I don't know how much the general public cares about it at the same time, if that makes sense. That's a good question.
Maybe it's just one of those things that's like, these kooky guys and their philosophy or in their religion or whatever, and nobody actually like pays attention. But then like when you actually hear the message, like when she gets there, she actually gets like the download in her brain of the
The
prophecy.
full message, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the vice president, when the three horsemen asked him if he heard the message, he says, I don't believe in that, any of that. So, which is a weird thing to say to the horsemen,
The Horsemen
Right.
of the Apocalypse, which is what War points out immediately.
Rodents of unusual sizes? I don't think they exist. Yeah, like I say, this volume did a whole lot of world building very quickly and set up a whole lot of stuff. So I feel I owe it to just keep reading just to see some of the payoffs.
I was gonna
They've done a
say,
lot
as
of
long as
work.
it's intriguing enough, right? Like, I was thinking about that as far as like these 5 issues, what do you get done? You set up a lot of the groundwork for a lot of stuff that's gonna play out, and you also establish the central stakes, which are like Death wants to find his son. Like that's it, right? And like that's where
Sure.
you're at by the end of this first volume. So I think that's a good place to like it's a good chapter break. I think it like this first chapter kind of does what it needs to do to set you up for the remaining 9.
Sure.
And hopefully that's good enough, damn it, to get you guys to click into books you already
You've already
Can't make
purchased.
me.
Maybe. I don't know, man. We'll see.
I'll just buy new ones.
I think when because I started in on this before it was finished for sure, because I know I was definitely waiting for like the final. I think I bought like 1 through 5 at Chicago Comic Convention, it was probably a
Mm.
C2E2. And then like from there I was pretty much caught up, and so I had to wait for the trades to actually release. But like I was watching the release dates by that point. I was like, all right, cool, it's East of West month. Let's order that bad boy. Yeah, I think like again, part of it is the plot, like the plot and the world building and the characters are all really compelling. Again, also though, like the art, the momentum just kind of keeps you going, in my opinion, at least. Like where it's paced out really well. Even the interstitial pages are placed really well. You like I can tell where the end of the chapters are in each of these just because like I know when you hit that final splash page cliffhanger every time, like as a team, the pacing here is really on point, and I think carries you through to the point where like I started reading volume 2 this morning. I was like, no, I got to go to work. I have to set this down.
Sure.
And it was tough. Yeah, I hope you guys keep reading it, and I hope you enjoy it. And if we like it enough, maybe we'll circle back because I would not mind having an excuse to talk about the rest of it. So keep me informed how you guys like volume 2. Yeah, I think with that, unless you guys have anything else that you want to slip in before we move into notes and before we move into recommendations, that moves us into the recommendations section.
Let's do it.
Simon, what you got?
May I recommend the podcast that you're already listening to?
Absolutely not. Disgusting.
No, we don't go in for that sort of shameless self-promotion here, Simon.
A couple of years ago, I did a episode of this podcast about a comic called Pulp. That was the cowboy aspect of this, which is like an old cowboy guy trying to live his life in the modern times of the American 1930s. And so it's got that kind of westerny feel, flashbacks, backstory. The other thing would be some of the shots, the coloring, and the violence reminded me of. Was it In the Name of the King? Is that the other one we did? What's the King Arthur one we did?
Oh, Once and Future.
Once in
Yeah.
Future. Which is kind of like that heavy metal album cover, gory, violent stuff. Reminded me of that a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah, I get that. I get
both
that
good
actually.
books.
Pat, what you got?
Matt, you do yours first.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Mine is gonna be the manga Search and Destroy, which I am in the middle of right now, but it has very similar vibes of like it's a sci-fi futuristic dystopia thing. It's a revenge story about a girl who had all of her body parts stolen by creatures like robots, like 48 creatures. It's a retelling of a previous manga, the name of Dororo, something
Dororo?
like that. I'm sure I butchered
Yeah.
that. Sorry, guys.
It's a good anime, by the way.
Oh, okay. Well, this is a good manga, which is a retelling of it by a different artist whose name I'm blanking on right this second, so I'm gonna search it while I'm talking, but I hit caps lock, so no.
Oh, can't search with caps lock.
You can't. It won't do it.
Well, it doesn't help if I'm typing on the wrong keys, because then I'm not
Atsushi
spelling things
Kaneko?
correctly. Yeah, it is Atsushi Kaneko. It's very good. It has very similar, well done pacing, like very propulsive. Again, Dragata, I feel like is very manga influenced, and Search and Destroy is a manga that's very much in line with the art in East of West. So it's got a lot of the same stuff going on in that it's like a revenge thriller, very similar feel, sci-fi dystopia stuff. So again, I'm only through volume 2, but I'm pretty sure volume 3 is also going to be good from what I know. So I can pretty safely recommend that one, I think. Now, Pat, what you got?
Reading this, it was hard not to keep thinking back to Frank Quitely works because I feel like the art style, at least for the characters, very reminiscent of Frank Quitely's style. Zhao truly looks like so many of Frank Quitely's characters. She's got the widely spaced, smaller eyes.
Yeah.
So I kept jumping to Jupiter's Legacy. I don't know why. I feel like it sort of fits, sort of, if you squint. But I kept going back
Oh,
to
he
that for
did
whatever.
some Morrison stuff. Okay.
Yeah, Frank
Yeah.
Quitely and
Yeah, a
Grant
bunch of
Morrison.
Morrison stuff.
He's done a few other things. So that's the one I would say. I know it's not a Western. It's not really sci-fi. But if you squint at it, it looks similar.
Is that also a 2010s-ish Image series?
God, I think it might be. Let's find out.
Did that finish? I feel like it may not.
I don't think it did,
have.
unfortunately. Though there is a thing that says Jupiter Legacy Finale, which sounds promising, right?
Sure. I mean, I
There
know
was a
at the
TV
very
series I
least,
keep forgetting.
yeah, from those Mark Millar Netflix days. Bless them.
He tried.
Um,
When did it come out? Come on, tell me.
I'm pretty sure if it came back quite
2013.
involved at some point. Anyways,
Yeah, I think finally it dropped off, but
yeah.
I enjoyed the first bit of it that I've read. So.
I don't have anything to say about it because I haven't read it, but I know roughly of the publication history, I guess, more so than like the actual. That's about like, hey, there's some superheroes, but now they're not superheroes, and it's the next generation of superheroes. One of those kind of dealios. Is that? Am I thinking?
Yeah, there's like a superpowered control of the government and stuff, and like they're bad people, Matt. They're bad people, and the next generation, like the children of Superman or the equivalent, have become rebels to fight against the entrenched other superpowers, that kind of thing.
What if superheroes were bad though?
Crazy. Can you imagine? If you like The Boys or what's his name? Not Indestructible. Undiable guy.
Invincible.
Undiable.
Unbreakable. Bruce Willis.
Kimmy Schmidt. Oh, there we go. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's fun. I enjoyed it. Frank Quitely is just amazing. And this awesome artwork in East of West just reminded me how there are other awesome comic book illustrators out there.
Frank Quitely will also do a 24 panel page every once in a while, and it's also good.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, guys. I think that brings us to the end of our discussion of East of West Volume 1. As always, if you want to get in touch with Pat or myself, you can email us at waitingonthetrade@gmail.com. You can also find more comics-related goodness at mattreadscomics.com. Guys, thanks for discussing this one. I was really excited when Pat put it on the short list of books. As you may know from the fact that I went down and read the whole volume in a single night when he sent me that text. So, happy to have you both here to chat about this one, because it's one I've been thinking about on and off for a little while now, and I'm glad that we finally got it out of your Image comic bundles and into your jailbroken e-readers.
Anything to justify my
brain.
bundle purchases. Yeah.